Joined now by the head coach of East Hamilton FC, Bob Pretto, runners-up in the Under-13 Boys Ontario Cup Championship. First off, sir, congratulations. It's an accomplishment just to get here. We'll talk a little bit about the Ontario Cup as a tournament, but first let's start by getting your thoughts on how the game progressed. You had tremendous press throughout the second half and seemed like you were going to break through at any opportunity. Just give us your general thoughts on your team's performance here today.
I thought the performance was fantastic. It's exactly what we were planning for today, other than getting scored on first, of course, but we were solid throughout the first half as well, hitting the post and really applying the pressure. Their chances were from distance, so we knew they were going to get chances, but we had hoped to keep them on the outside, and we accomplished that. So very much according to plan the first half, as far as I thought. Unfortunately, they found their way through early in the second half, and they were able to penetrate and slot one in. But we were still very confident that we had the strike force, that we had the attack, that we were going to get one. And, so at that time, we moved some more players forward and pushed on the attack to get the goal. And it took quite a while, but I think we hit another crossbar, which was very close to crossing the line, if not crossing the line. Couldn't get the breaks, unfortunately, to get a second, but we did manage to get that the first goal, that tying goal in extra time, which was really exciting. So we knew this Brampton team was very fast. They had speed. They had talent up front. I thought we defended them very, very well, and we just couldn't get the goals today, it seemed.
If you could just touch on the play around that goal, Joseph.
Zurincic.
Thank you very much. The run that he did, the individual effort in itself, so holding off the player and then getting into the box and having the soundness of mind in extra time to backheel it to his teammate for the finish. Just describe his play as well as the performance of some of your forwards here today.
All three of our forwards in today really played a big impact on the game, and we expect them to. They're fabulous strikers. In Thomas Brooks, who came in later in the game, just missed the top corner in the first half by inches and hit the crossbar in the second half. Our other striker, Malik Henry, who was tearing up the right side, was just unstoppable today. But that's no surprise from Joe. Joe's been doing that all season. He has a knack, and I've been saying this, he has a knack for the moment in a big game that he can make something happen. And I had faith until that final whistle that something was going to happen, and what a beautiful goal. I mean, I lost my voice because of it. I was so pleased at, like you said, the state of mind, the presence of mind to cut it back. He knew there was a player there. We've been working on that. But to actually have the composure to play it back to him instead of taking the shot was an amazing decision. And Lucas Klakalek, did he ever finish that well, So just a fantastic goal, and couldn't ask for more.
Speaking of composure, your player Henry, you touched on him a little bit. Obviously, player of the game, at least in my view today. All up and down the wing. Just speak a little bit on his talent. He seems like he's something special.
He certainly is, and either Malik or Joe are able to terrorize any defense in the province, and they've been doing it all the way here. He has that great first step in quickness and ability to read defenders, and we knew that their left back was going to have a tough time if we could find the space to get Malik the ball, and we did. The game really went according to plan offensively. We were in and behind their defense numerous times. We just couldn't find that final ball in front of the net. We couldn't get that finish. But that's Malik. Malik's bread and butter is going at defenders one-on-one, and combined with Joe, they're a serious threat.
Just a little bit about this tournament. It's really difficult for any team just to get to this point, and a lot of teams really hold this tournament in high regard. Just speak a little bit about the razor's edge that was your walk to the final and the difficulty you encountered.
We were in a tough group. We came out of a group with London AG, who I believe were the Ontario Cup champs. We were playing in London, Ajax and Kleinberg. Tied Ajax, which was an unfortunate tie. We had the pressure on, just couldn't find the net. Beat Kleinberg, and we had a must-win against London. and played probably our best game of the season to that point. We beat them 2-0, just an absolute solid game from everybody. Got through the group stage there, and then we played Milton, who was a good team, but we had another fantastic game. I think that was 7-0 that we beat them. Ended up meeting Oakville in the semis, who we had played a couple games against them, a couple friendlies. We had won one, they had won one, so we knew what to expect. Once again, had a game plan. The kids followed it to a T. Played a fantastic game in Oshawa and beat them 2-0. So to that point, we hadn't been scored on. This was our first goal in the cup, and we'd played good teams. I felt Oakville was one of the top teams in the province, if not the top team, and we played a fantastic game against them. So we knew we would keep it very tight, if anything. We didn't feel there was anybody who could get more than a goal on us, if that. All the credit to Brampton East for finding the net and getting that first goal lead. You know, that was enough really to get us into penalties, and unfortunately the penalties didn't work for us today.
So what's next for this squad? I mean, it's a Nationals year next season, so you'll be keeping a lot of the core together, I would assume. Just tell us a little bit of your plans going forward.
Well, this is also a transitional year where this age group goes into regional team status or possibly OPDL. So it's really unknown how many players may decide to go to OPDL. And whether we're going to transition into the regional league. So it's quite possible, and just due to how the system is structured now, that this team may end up having players move on. So we really don't know. Unfortunately, I can't answer that question.
And finally, just a little thought on the play of your opponents here today. Defensively, sort of absorbed the pressure as best as they could, and you really you took it to them. Just a couple comments on how they played today.
Very strong at the back, in the middle. We knew we wanted to go on the outside because of that. We also knew we didn't want to play crosses in front of the net because of the size and strength in the middle. So we worked on cutbacks for the last week to try and get shots on goal. Certainly paid off, but they're strong in the middle, and we knew that was going to be tough to penetrate. And it was. I don't think we really penetrated through the middle very often at all. Very dangerous up front as well. So their strikers are very quick, very fast, very good players. So we needed to contain them, and our defense did a great job. We changed up our formation at the back a little bit to try and have another loose player in there, because we knew one-on-one they were dangerous. And it worked. I mean, they never got behind us either. Fabulous job, our defense, once again, winning a lot of challenges. But somehow they managed to squeak their way through and get that goal. But no disappointment at all in our defense. Brampton has a good team, a dangerous team. We knew that. We knew they could get us on set pieces with their size. So we were able to restrict them from that, which I'm really proud of. And in my opinion, the kids played a virtually perfect game as far as our game plan went. Their execution was fantastic. They were dynamic. We took advantage of their weaknesses, and just not our day, unfortunately, and that happens.
It's been the head coach of East Hamilton FC, runners-up in the Under-13 Boys Ontario Cup. Sir, first off, congratulations just for being here, and a terrific performance here today.
Thank you very much.